What does time and price actually mean? So many people who learn ICT, they're always like, oh, time and price, time and price. There's many different meanings of time and price. There's times where price tends to run. There's times where price tends to run liquidity. There's times where you should and shouldn't trade. A lot of time is just so generic. A lot of people don't understand what time and price actually means. In this video, I'm going to explain what time and price means, but I'm going to talk about the macro specifically. This is a major time and price aspect, and I strongly recommend to know the macros and understand how the macro times work. So without further ado, let's get started. So to get started, okay, you can see I'm clearly using an indicator. If you want to check out this indicator, it's called ICT macros, and it should be the first one that pops up, or maybe the second one, by Lux Algo. Okay, if you type in macros ICT, I think it's the first one that pops up. So it's by Lux Algo. There's many different ones. You can try these. Maybe you might like one better, but I think these are fine. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to pause the video and I want you to tell me what usually happens or what's happening generally during these times. So pause the video, see if you can figure it out. So if you said price typically runs liquidity during these times, you are correct, okay? And that's exactly how I use them. So in this first example, okay, you can see this macro is 950 to 1010. Now, in a recent ICT space, ICT said the macro occurs the last 10 minutes of every hour in the first 10 minutes of every hour. So 950 to 1010, 850 to 910. There's zones here that aren't even here because I don't have them enabled. I want to keep it simple. I want to go over the main macros that I typically use. And yeah, so there's a macro at the last 10 minutes of every hour and the first 10 minutes of every hour, if you didn't know. And these are the other macro times ICT has talked about, okay? But I'm just going to be going over these for simplicity purposes. Now, during the macro times, okay, I'm typically looking for a draw to get ran, so a draw on liquidity to get ran. Now, not every macro time is going to run the draw on liquidity you want, but a lot of the draws on liquidity are going to be ran during a macro time, okay? You might need to rewind that, and hopefully that makes sense. So, for example, in this situation here, we have a net macro starting at 950, all right? And obviously, this bearish gap is not my model, but we could say this is the silver bullet, okay? This is the silver bullet. You can kind of see we didn't actually sweep this liquidity, which is interesting, but we did sweep it on NQ, so I don't really know what's going on. Very strange, okay? But MNQ swept liquidity here. We say this is a silver bullet. During this time period, since this entry happened at 950, I'm expecting the next draw on liquidity to get ran before 1010. Now, you're probably wondering, how do you find the next draw on liquidity? Well, where is the entry looking to take us? Right? If I'm shorting a bearish rally gap, what could be a possible draw? Well, London low, low a day. It could theoretically be anything, okay? But in this situation, if we look to the left, we've already taken out London low. We've already taken out everything. So in this case, it would be low a day right here. And you can see right at 10:05, the liquidity gets ran, okay, during the macro. Now, there's a couple different ways to use this. You don't have to enter in the macro time. That's the one misconception a lot of people think. You can enter before the macro time, but you should expect price, as long as it's moving in that direction, to run that draw on liquidity during the macro time. Oftentimes, if you don't see that, it's a usually bad sign. I usually take off more than usual if it's like 10:10. Like, let's say we're at let's say price is right here and it's 10:10 already. I would probably get out a lot of my position because I wouldn't like how this isn't ran by 10:10, because I've been in so many trades that I know a low like this should be ran before 10:10. In this situation, it obviously works fine and it doesn't really matter. Okay, so typically you want to see the macro times run to a draw on liquidity. It must be an obvious draw on liquidity, okay, typically, and it should be ran before it ends. If it doesn't, that's not really a good sign. All right, here's the next macro time. 10:50 to 11:10 is another good macro time. You can see in this situation, we ran up, we took out this high, and right at 10:51, we got an inversion set up, an inversion for value gap. Now, I was already done for the day at this point, but because it is a macro, you're expecting, because this occurred during a macro, keep in mind it doesn't have to occur right at 10:50. This could have occurred at 10:48, and then it could have sped up when the macro started. because it's happening right inside the macro, you're expecting price to run. Now, this not only helps you emotionally, but also helps you strategy-wise, because not one, it helps you emotionally because it usually happens quick. It's usually a quick run, okay? And two, it helps you with your strategy because you know it's probably a better trade if it's during the macro time. Do you need to take it during the macro time? No, you don't, but you probably know it's a better trade and it should happen quicker, which makes you less patient because it should happen quicker and you don't need to be patient. You know, patience is the hardest part, but if you're taking all your trades during the macro time, sometimes you don't really need to be that patient. But you can see it runs liquidity at about 11 o'clock. It runs this low, and that's really all the macro like to give us, right? There's almost not a single green candle here besides this one right here. But if honestly, this is a great example of what I was trying to explain before. We have low day here, right? Let's say you were bearish here and you're thinking, oh, I think we're gonna go to low day. I'm gonna hold it on here. Maybe you'll take partials here. If you don't take partials here, you have to. That's just dumb. You should scale some here, but let's say you're holding the rest of low day. The second I see a candle like this and it's outside the macro time, which you can see this occurred outside the macro time right here, I will probably get out of my rested position here at 11:11 when I see this reaction, because I'm thinking, okay, I've been in so many winning trades that the macro would typically run that low in that time, and because it didn't hit, I'm going to get out of my position here. I'm not going to bother holding, and you can see in the end it would have saved you. So that's another way you can kind of use the macro time and get out a little early if it doesn't run during that macro time. As you all know, I only use inverse fair value gaps, and recently I made a full free PDF of inverse fair value gap rating setups that I use to rate my own setups A through C. So if you want to check that out, just click the first link in the description. It's completely free and hopefully should help you. Okay, here's another great example. In this example here, we didn't really have any obvious strong liquidity, but price clearly kind of sweeps both the high and low inside the macro time, which is kind of another thing you'll kind of see a lot, right? We had a high and low in this macro time. Price sweeps both. What you could have done here is when you see this reaction from this, right? You don't know if this is going to react like this in live time, but when you see this and then you see this inversion and you see it's inside the macro time, sometimes you can be like, okay, I know even though we hit this internal low, I don't move myself break even because we're in a macro time, right? I should expect this to hold, right? Maybe if this candle occurs at the end of the macro time and the macro just ends, well then yeah, get out. But if we're still in the middle of the macro time and this is still holding, there's no reason to get out because you're expecting those next lows to be ran. And if they aren't, then yeah, get out. But you're expecting it because it's a macro time. Anything past these lows, I would say is probably extra. Like this is probably extra, but you kind of see the macro runs both sides here, and it's just a kind of a beautiful price movement. So this is going to be the last example I go over. This is 315 to 345 macro. Now, again, I know ICT said the macro is the last 10 minutes of the hour and the first 10 minutes, but he's also mentioned this time before, and this does happen to work a lot, okay? This is technically power hour, as some of you guys know it, but it's also macro time. What you can see here is we consolidated until the macro hit, which is kind of cool to see. A lot of times, the best macros and the most movement inside macros will occur after consolidation. So if you see us consolidating and then all of a sudden a macro hits, theoretically, you should see a big move. So in this scenario here, okay, we have our liquidity right here and right here, okay? Now, this actually was better in ES. This actually ended up hitting an ES, which is kind of a funny thing. So we're just going to, I'm not going to go to ES for this example, but this actually did hit an ES and it didn't on NQ, and we got an SMT right there, but it was still during the macro. So we're just going to assume this wick hit here because it did an ES and it's the same concept, okay? So we have a data low here and we want it to be hit, but we're consolidating here. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to ask myself, when's the next macro time? Well, it's at 3:15. So I'm going to wait till we get a move at 3:15. If we don't, we don't. But if we do, I'll look for something. So at 3:15, I see, okay, we just dumped big death candle there, right? Where's the inverse? Oh, well, I see an inverse right here. Okay, I'm going to take this. Stop loss is going to be above this bearish fair value gap because I know it's a macro. And I'm expecting this and the data lows to be ran before 345, and if they aren't, I'm going to get out. And if there's any stalling, I'm going to get out because I know the macro time shouldn't stall. So you can see we accumulate here Okay, very, very nice choppiness because that tells us the macro is going to move more. Here's the entry. You could have gotten in on the retrace. You could have gotten in here. It doesn't really matter. It depends on what you're comfortable with. And here's your kind of, there's two fair value gaps here. I know I say singular fair value gap. Just pretend this is a singular fair value gap. The logic applies because if you think about liquidity, it's still all the same logic. And I take this. Now, you shouldn't see any stalling here. We don't because it's a macro time. And you can see both these lows, and yes, this hit at 15:28 with about 17 minutes left to spare in the macro. Anything else, I consider this technically extra because this was, I feel like the news lows was the obvious straw. So you can kind of see how I use the macro times. I use them kind of emotionally, almost more emotionally than actually for my strategy. It's like, oh, if I know we're in this time, we should run this. If we don't, I'm probably going to get out, etc. So step one, find the obvious strong liquidity. Make sure we're in a macro. Whatever entry model you take, the macro time, if close enough, should theoretically run it if we had the momentum going towards it. And if it doesn't, I would probably get out, okay? Sometimes if you get out, it will still hit 20 minutes later or maybe an hour later, but why would you want to waste the mental capital when 80% of the time the macro should run the liquidity? So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys found this useful. I will see you in the next one. Do not forget to use code DODGY. There's an 80% off discount code right now, or sale. You can practice trading the macros if you want. Now, all your entries do not need to be in the macros. They could be a little before. You just should expect the draw to be run during the macros. That's really all it is. So, yeah, don't forget to use code DODGY, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.